Hello, welcome to a new video. Many things have happened since the last one, including me losing my hard drive with all my work and personal files. But I'm gonna talk more about that in my next vlog. I really wish I had had somebody to convince me to save my important files on the cloud storage. So I guess I'll be that person to you on my next video. I'm sorry, I'll be a bit annoying probably, but that's because I really don't want you to go through losing so many important things. But well, for now, I just want to paint and try to get my mind off of it for a little while. I know you understand. In fact, painting is a very good therapy to help you forget things for a little while. You get so deeply focused on the work that it's like magical. So as you can see, I started out with a sketch on my iPad, also did a little color testing in there. Then I'm printing it into Fabriano 25% cotton studio watercolor paper. It's a very cloudy day today, it's perfect for painting. I have a simple inkjet home printer, but it does have a rear tray where it's able to push quite heavyweight paper. When I was looking for a printer to buy, I was looking for exactly one like that, so it's easier to restart working with watercolors and traditional media if I need. That surely lifts off a lot of pressure from being perfect on the first try and not messing it up, because then although I am careful in the way that I'm painting, I can always do it again. So in your head, it's like a lot reassuring. Most of the times I'll paint quite small, but today I wanted to do something a little bit different. Here I'm trimming the paper to fit the exact square format and also separating two little pieces so I can try my paints on. I got used to working like this because then I don't have to think about the colors all the time and like stop what I'm doing to think about what color do I want to use next. But at the same time, it's funny when you do that with watercolors because you always have to wait for something to dry somewhere. So you could also use that waiting time to mix the colors. But I guess it's just a habit that I have. And it still saves a lot of mental effort in the middle of the painting. And I guess here you can tell how small I usually paint, because even though I'm going to a medium-sized painting this time, I still chose very small brushes. Well, I guess that's the way I like it. By the way, this palette that I'm using is my favorite thing ever. Like, I bought it on the dollar store and it was something to frame a document, I think, like those diplomas. And I just removed the backing part with the cardboard and little metal part, and it's perfect now, so it's very easy to clean and quite big actually. Very handy. Every time I try to do traditional work now, it gets kind of funny because I'm so used to changing things in the middle of the way and being able to undo things Ctrl-Z all the time that it gets very annoying in the beginning and in the middle of it, because I'm always like, oh no, now I just messed up everything, even though I feel safe with my method of working, like printing, like I told you in the beginning, like printing on a piece of paper so I could just print it again. But still, my head is always like, oh, I did something I didn't like. What am I gonna do now? I have to fix this. And it's not the way I want it to look. But then I think most people can agree that that's the charm of working with traditional paints. When working digitally, you kind of know more or less the final look of a painting. You don't know exactly what it's gonna look like because, well, you haven't finished it. But I think you have a good sense of it. But traditional, especially watercolors and I think gouache a bit, like paints, it's very hard to predict 100% what the water is gonna do. And yes, you can control it a lot, especially if you have a lot of experience. But there's something that is just so mysterious, I guess. And every painting kind of has that state where things just look awkward and you just have a bunch of shapes and you have to define them and put the details and, I don't know, enhance some other colors and make it look better, which is what painting is in general. So I don't really do a lot of traditional work, to be honest, but now that I'm trying to get back to it more and more because it's very interesting, like I think it teaches you a lot of things too, like exactly that part of letting go, of controlling every step of the process and just trying to enjoy the whole, like not knowing exactly how it's gonna look like. But I won't deny that I feel very annoyed sometimes. Also, I have to admit that there is nothing like the feeling of a brush loaded with paint, touching the paper and gliding through it and leaving its marks. It's just so smooth and soothing. I guess I wanted to send myself a message with this painting. Of flowers and nature and the little head. That is kind of like, yo, let go of things for a little while. Like, don't think too much about it. Just be around nature and let nature heal you and give you a little warm hug for a while. Like, be in nature and just let it do its things for you. Which sounds very simple, but it could be one of the most hardest things to do when you're suffering or when you're going through something very unpleasant. I hope you're not going through anything like that, but I also hope you can feel the same thing, the same sense of comfort that comes when we are around plants and trees and nature in general. Oh, here I switched over to gouache just because I want to go over the watercolor part, and we can't really do that with watercolor. You can try to mix your watercolor paint with lots of white watercolor. That'll make the paints a little bit more opaque, but me, I prefer going over it with gouache. I think it's a little bit easier. So I just switched over to my gouache paints and my gouache palette for that. Now my favorite part, always adding color pencils and defining everything and making it feel like the thing that I had in mind all the time. Isn't it funny how the sketch always has this kind of magic that nothing seems to do justice to it? It's like there are so many possibilities and so many things that we can do with a sketch, and because it's not a finished piece, I think in our heads it means so many things, and it could be so many things that when it actually becomes something, sometimes it feels quite frustrating because it's not that amount of possibilities anymore, and now it's just one thing. When I think about that and the fact that I always love my sketches better, I think that's the reason. I think that's because it's easier to like something that has so many possibilities other than something that is already like finished, that it's done. But the good thing with sketches is that you can always try to do something else with it other than the way you just rendered it. And who am I trying to trick? I don't ever do that. I just finish it and let it be. But I guess it is some kind of consolation, because if you really don't like a piece, you could just try again with some other medium, and it's not like exhausted. I used to use color pencils in a darker color than the actual base. For example, for the green leaves, I would use green, a little bit darker green colored pencils. But lately I've been enjoying doing kind of everything in navy blue, this indigo color. It seems to unify a bit because I'm really enjoying to just draw and paint blue hair. So yeah, in a sense, painting is always trying something new and seeing how it goes, and then later on I'll probably be in another phase, and I really enjoy that. It makes me curious to know what I'm gonna be doing in like a few months or in a year, and what kind of things I'll be into, and what kind of phase am I gonna be in, and it makes me very excited in a way. So after I'm done, I'm gonna scan it and clean it up a little bit, because especially with these Prismacolor pencils, they're so soft and so smooth. It always leaves some traces and little marks and smudges here and there. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was a calming thing to watch. I'll be coming up with a studio vlog soon, so stay tuned for that, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And that's it. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are. Bye!